Well, Simon Green is the president of JPAC at Palo Alto Networks and joins us now in Singapore. Great to see you there, Simon. You know, I'm just thinking right here in Australia of the startling Optus breach where up to 10 million customers' data was exposed. And Optus naturally saying, look, we're not the villains, you know, we're victims as well. So it all comes down to, you know, if everybody's got, you know, I would assume some kind of cybersecurity software in their systems, how are these villainous players getting through?
Well, thanks, Mandy. It's nice to see you. Yeah, look, it's a very unfortunate situation for those the customers. I think an attack on any organisation like that is an attack on the country and the people. And you know, this is a very complicated problem that organisations are dealing with. These attacks, some of them are very simple, some of them are highly sophisticated. But the cybersecurity industry as a whole, we have an incredible responsibility to help these organisations move through the complexity of the environments they're in. COVID hasn't helped. Hybrid work is here to stay. So as a result of hybrid work, organisations have now moved from the attack surface being a building or a set of buildings to a highly distributed environment. And so, you know, this is a very complex problem they're dealing with. And so companies have been deploying lots and lots of different technologies. This is now about how do you try and consolidate technologies. You've got to bring automation. You've got to get visibility. And quite frankly, we have to restore trust by lowering trust. A lot of you know, cybersecurity has been about verify once and allow people to go through the network of an organisation. We have to stop that. We've got to continue to verify often, and therefore that means going to a zero trust environment to bring trust back.
But I mean, look, we've never had more cybersecurity in place than we ever have. And yet there are more and more cybersecurity attacks. And let's just, you know, talk about Southeast Asia for a second. What is the reason behind the increased level of cybersecurity attacks, cyber attacks, excuse me, on governments and corporations?
Well, there's been a huge proliferation of data. I mean, we've gone through massive amounts of digital transformation, every organisation over the last, you know, not just 5 years, previous years before that. So data has moved from being highly concentrated in data centres, it's now moved out to the cloud. So there's lots and lots of data that's moving around now because of networks have transformed, data centres have transformed, clouds have become a real thing. And so data has moved, you know, in massive ways out to very, very different parts of, you know, the network. And with that, a lot of digital transformation occurred. You would have heard about digital transformation for many, many years. That's about shifting applications from old style applications to new applications, which is all about getting better insights around customer data, productivity for your employees. So it's a huge amount of information that's out there now, and there's a huge exposure, and it's become easier and easier for hackers to get in. And quite frankly, they collaborate just like IT organisations and companies collaborate. So again, it's a very complicated problem. We are on a long, long journey to help save these organisations and help protect them.
Simon, who are the bad actors?
We don't attribute to bad actors everywhere, sure. I mean, there's nation states, there's sponsored organisations, there's individuals. I mean, there's curious minds in schools and universities, so it's everywhere.
Oh, the reason I ask is they just seem to be getting more sophisticated in terms of the data breaches that they employ. So how would you describe the existing ecosystem, the existing defences, whether they are around critical infrastructure in government and public services or whether they are in private companies, and how porous or otherwise are they?
Well, you just highlighted an important point. You mentioned governments, you mentioned large organisations. There are individuals, there are small companies as well. So there are opportunities to attack all these organisations. Ultimately, they're trying to get money. They're trying to extort money. And you saw it, you know, just in the recent breaches this week and the last week. It's all about, you know, ransomware and trying to get it. So, you know, I think at this point, nobody is, you know, highly protected. I don't think any organisation, any CEO or any board would stand up and say, we are absolutely in a perfect position. The thing about the cybersecurity is we have to be right 100% of the time. The hacker only has to be right once and they can get in. So again, a complicated problem.
And the technology keeps evolving, whether it's on the offensive side and then ergo on the defensive side as well. So do you, from your point of view, do you build that organically as a business, or do you do that through acquisitions?
We do. You build and acquire, and right. You would have seen we've been acquiring companies over the last 4 or 5 years. It's about getting adjacent technology so that we can deliver automation and integration. The thing about the industry of the past, it's been about lots and lots of different technologies. None of them communicate together, none of them integrate, and therefore, if you can get past one of them, you can potentially get into the organisation. So we're spending a lot of our research and development money on integration and automation. The future of cybersecurity, if you want to think about that, is like the autonomous car. We're trying to get towards an autonomous security operations capability so that we can use AI and machine learning to stop attacks then and there in the network. And that's where we're going towards, and that's what we're trying to do.
Simon, super quickly, can you let us in on anything potentially transformative that you are looking at in terms of targeted acquisitions?
Yeah, look, I'm not going to comment on the targeted acquisitions, Sri, but what I'll say is this: the innovation that we're working on is about collaborating with the broader industry. It's about using all the data, the large amounts of data sets that we've got, applying machine learning and artificial intelligence to see things and stop them at that moment. We stop about 240 billion attacks every day. And that's about putting machines and data to work as opposed to people. There's not enough people in the cybersecurity industry.
Got it. Simon, we'll leave it there, sir. Thank you very much indeed for joining us.